it was so hard to close my first deal, and I didn't think it was ever going to happen. I'm super thrilled, and I'm very honored that you asked me to be part of this podcast. One important thing that I did learn in sales is that you have to prospect every day. So my career journey actually started at Saint Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I was in the SAP Business One course because there's always a reason why a company is looking to a software system. Tyler, it is normal. Stop beating yourself up. It'll come. Trust the process. A lot of the issues that I have noticed that food companies are facing, it's really important to make sure that they feel comfortable with the change. Every day is an adventure, and it's a journey working with CeleriTech for sure.
Welcome, Tyler, to ERP Talks podcast, and we are very happy that we have you in our show, and it's very nice meeting you, man.
Thank you. I'm super excited to be here. I'm super thrilled, and I'm very honored that you asked me to be part of this podcast. And yeah.
So, Tyler, the first typical question in ERP Talks, tell us about your journey. So, can you tell us more about yourself and your career journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. So my career journey actually started at Saint Vincent College in Latrobe, Pennsylvania. I was in the SAP Business One course, the training course at college, professed by Mr. Markley, Bob Markley, who was on this podcast a few episodes in the past. Yeah. And I was in his program, his SAP Business One program. I had no idea what SAP Business One was. I knew that it was software industry. I knew that it was business operations. And I was very close with Mr. Markley. I went on many trips with him in the past with just different school trips. And I was taking his management information systems class, and he was telling us about this program that he had to offer. And I was like, okay, I'll try it out. And he accepted me into the program. And since then, that has gotten me into the SAP Business One industry. And I believe that was in 2020 that I was first introduced to SAP Business One. And then since then, I went through the entire program with him and all the other students that were in my class. This was sophomore year that we were introduced into this program. And it was about like a year and a half into it. I had an internship with the SAP Business One industry. And then Mr. Markley reached out to me because he knew that I was fluent in Spanish because I was an international business major in college, and I was becoming fluent in Spanish. So he reached out to me and he was like, Tyler, you got the perfect sales personality. You got the perfect marketing personality. You speak Spanish. You got a lot of energy. I know the exact perfect job for you. I know this one internship that opened up with one of my friends in the industry. His name was Wilbert Moreno at CeleriTech in Miami, SAP Business One partner CeleriTech. And he was like, I really want you to try to get this internship. So I'm going to put you in contact. I was like, okay, sounds great. And next thing you know, I was in an interview with Wilbert Moreno at CeleriTech, speaking Spanish in the interview. Wilbert was sharing me his entire strategy with implementation and our Easy Starter, which is a quick and fast deployment of SAP Business One for growing companies. Wilbert was telling me about our dedication to the food industry. And I was like, this sounds like the exact job I want. So this was going into senior year, going into my final year of college. And I had my internship with CeleriTech all throughout my senior year of college. I was getting trained by Claudia Ochoa, who is actually Wilbert's wife. It's a husband and wife team that runs CeleriTech, which is really cool and unique. So I was getting trained by Claudia Ochoa, who's the national sales director throughout the entire year of my senior year. And then it fed off into my after graduation job till now of being a sales rep and an account manager at CeleriTech.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
I love it. Right.
Yeah.
Dream career.
Yeah. So Professor Markley, you mentioned that he was with us here at ERP Talks, and he told us about the educator's perspective. Sure. So for this program, so can you tell us more about this program based on your experience as a student in Saint Vincent?
Sure, absolutely. So I would say this is a world-class program. This is a world-class program. There's only a few colleges around the entire globe that offer this SAP Business One educational course at a university or collegiate level. So I was introduced to it. It was very, very informative because you're learning all about software. You're learning about project management. And then you're also learning about like actual supply chain, accounting, financial issues that companies face. And you're learning what those are to begin with. right, from a college level. And then you're learning how SAP Business One can complement those issues and solve those issues with an all-in-one system. So beginning at that point when I was beginning the SAP Business One program, I was just being introduced into my business major itself. So I was learning all about what a chart of accounts were, what general ledger was, supply chain itself was, what margins were, what landed costs were, everything. So it was very overwhelming at first learning it all, because that's exactly what SAP Business One does inside of a system, is manage all that in a centralized location with reporting and financial reporting, sales management, customer relationship management, everything. So it was definitely a lot to take in at first, but I couldn't even describe how effective this program was, because it really sets up students after graduation to really know the ins and outs of the business industry. So without the SAP Business One program, I would have known business, but not at the exact technical level that SAP Business One, provides a solution for. So I can't speak enough about the program. I would recommend that program to anybody with technical backgrounds, non-technical backgrounds, anybody. It's an amazing program. I would recommend it to anybody all over the world, honestly, especially with Mr. Markley.
Yeah. So you, in this course or in this program, you study the SAP technical part, which is doing the transactions on the system,
Sure.
know how to do like uploading a chart of account or business
Sure.
partners, all those technical things, not only like the business things, but also the SAP technical things.
Exactly. So the program itself, we had a training every single week. So we had a workshop that we had to do every single week, and by the time that the next Wednesday rolled around of classes, we had to turn in our workshop, which is going inside of a test database, like the normal test database in SAP, do whatever project was assigned for that week, whatever workshop was assigned for that week. So one week it might be on the chart of accounts. One week it might have been in the item master data. One week it might have been in the materials requirement planning module. So every single week we were learning a little bit more throughout the entire semester of all the different modules and all the different functionality that SAP Business One has to offer. And then kind of like the grand slam, the climax of the program was the OWL workshop, which I'm sure that Mr. Markley mentioned in his podcast, which was, we came in Christmas break. It was an in-person workshop. We had teams, and we had to dive deep into an actual implementation of a system, which was definitely very technical. But at the same time, it teaches the ins and outs of the system, which is important. If you're in marketing, if you're in sales, if you're in development, if you're in consulting or project management, you need to know the ins and outs of the system. And especially in sales, because you want to be able to reiterate that project management expertise to what a project would look like for a prospect. So that's how that's what I got out of that, because I knew I was going to be in sales marketing, and I was really knowing that probably I'm not going to use as technical aspects, like the very in-depth technical aspects, but I really want to use my knowledge of this to help clients know that it's doable. It's very much doable with an expert team, with a good team.
Yeah, and this is a very, very important thing, that you know the software and you know the business. You know both. You have the experience on the system from the technical side, and also the business side. So when you try to sell this solution, it will be easier for you. You know it. You have like a whole year or something. I don't know. This program is for 1 year.
Well, it was for about a year, because when we first got into the program, it was our sophomore, like the end of sophomore year is when interviews were. And then throughout the entire summer were training sessions, and then throughout the semester there were additional training sessions as well, and different guest speakers from different SAP VARs that came in to talk about their companies and see if we would be interested in joining their company as interns and so on. So it was almost, I would say it was about like 9 months, if I remember correctly, 9 months of the program itself.
Okay.
So it was definitely pretty lengthy, but also extremely valuable, in my opinion. Extremely.
Okay. Yeah.
I couldn't speak enough about it. And also, same with Mr. Markley. This man is the perfect teacher for the SAP Business One program. He has such like a enthusiasm and passion about ERP itself. and he just has such a passion of finding students their dream jobs, and both of those combined into one. He's a very happy man. You can tell every single day he brings that same exact energy. He loves what he does, and me and him are still really, really close. He's invited to my
Yeah.
wedding next month.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
Yeah. Good for you.
everybody's very close with him.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm excited.
And he also has a vision because he can see what is the best for you. So I am really like want to meet this Professor Markley. I want to meet him. I really
There's only one Professor Mark. There's really only one Professor Markley, and when you meet him in person, you'll understand. There's only one personality like Mr. Markley. That's why we love him so much.
I will try to do my best to meet him one day.
You got to. He's the man.
Will try.
But I remember during one class, there was a guest speaker that came in that was talking about pre-sales, and I remember listening. And then I got a text on my computer or my phone from Mr. Markley, and I was like, "Oh, what's this about?" And Mr. Markley was like, "Definitely pay attention here because I think you need to be in sales." So I was like, okay, yeah, that's interesting. Mr. Markley was like 2 seats next to me. He was like, make sure you're really paying attention to this because I really think that you'd be a great, candidate for a sales position in SAP. I was like, all right, sounds good. So it goes to show that Mr. Markley really knows his students. He knows his students really well to find them the best position where they would be able to, again, provide the most value to a company.
Perfect. So then he recommended you to CeleriTech program or internship. Mm-hmm. So can you tell us more about this internship? I believe it's different because now it will be specifically on the sales part. So can you share with us your experience in this internship?
Sure, absolutely. So the internship started with Claudia Ochoa, who is my direct sales manager, Wilbert's wife, too. They both co-lead the company. Claudia was training me on the ins and outs of SAP itself. So again, the technical aspect of it, what CeleriTech's value add is in the SAP Business One ecosystem, what our easy starter methodology is, which is an expedited and it is a fast deployable and an affordable way to implement SAP Business One to strategize our clients' data and to provide a system with extended support so that clients really succeed with their system. So I was learning still about SAP Business One and the value that it provides in a system itself. And then I was learning CeleriTech's value add too with it. So with our multiple different add-ons such as warehouse management called our Easy Stock Pro, regarding our Easy B2B portal, which is a client success portal for wholesale clients to go inside the portal and place orders, and that those orders will be reflected in SAP Business One on the client side or on the user side, and learning about our AI processes that we use for our clients. And I was learning everything. So it was a very steep learning curve. I know we were just talking about learning curves before. It was very, very steep learning curve because I was learning so much in this one time period, in addition to my classes too, because this internship was during my senior year. But it was great, right? So I was learning so much. It was my parents were very proud because I was just, at this point, I was learning so much. I had a world-class internship after a great program at Saint Vincent that I got into. I was taking classes. I was still on the swim team. So it was a amazing internship, and I would refer CeleriTech to anybody that I know. And of course, that's why I'm so passionate about CeleriTech and why I've stayed for now almost 3 years, is because I really, really believe in CeleriTech. I really believe in the value that we provide to our clients. I really believe in our easy starter methodology. I love our clients, right? The clients that I've sold to in the past, we're very close with, we speak to on a weekly basis. I feel like I have so much invested with CeleriTech, and I get treated like royalty. It's amazing.
Yeah.
At my age, it's amazing. So
good for you and good for them. I
couldn't stop speaking about CeleriTech too.
Good for you and good for them. So regarding CeleriTech, so this internship was like a month, 2 months, or how?
Yeah, it was about it was started in September of 2021, and then it ended right when I was beginning my full-time work. So technically it was from September all the way through July, and then I started my full-time job with CeleriTech in sales and account management.
September to July? This is
September to July. Yeah, so 9 months, honestly, was the internship.
Oh, yeah. This is it's important to spend some time like shadowing and
100%.
working with someone and they are teaching you. So regarding the sales, so I want to know the typical day in life of ERP sales professional. So you
Okay.
are, so every day you go to CeleriTech office. What are you doing? What is the stuff that you are doing every day?
So what am I doing? Every day is an adventure, and it's a journey working with CeleriTech for sure. So not every day in sales. I would never say that every day is very similar. So usually, if I were to lay out an average day at CeleriTech, I would usually start in the morning by checking all the emails that I got overnight. So because we have Italian clients, we have Portuguese clients as well that have a different time zone that they work in. And then sometimes clients send things like late at night during the week, like US clients. So I usually start my day off and I look at all the emails I have. I usually plan a to-do list for that day of all the things I know I need to get done, the most important tasks that need to get done regarding sales that day. I start my to-do list and then I respond to the emails. I tackle the most urgent things. So if I owe a prospect a sales quotation or like a ballpark sales quotation about how much it would be to implement SAP with the modules that they need, how much our easy starter methodology would be for the implementation of SAP, if they need any add-ons, if they need any additional services, extended support. So I usually tackle all those like very urgent sales tasks first. So any sales quotations that I owe, any proposals that I owe, I need to make sure that's done because I don't want to make sure that that is happening and clients are expecting information from me that I'm not giving. So all sales comes first. That's like a known thing in the industry.
Yeah.
And that cloud you really enforce, like sales, Tyler, needs to come first before anything. You really need to show our clients that they matter, that they're important, and that we value them, and that we will give them the best possible sales experience ever, right? Because that's one thing that we can control. We can control the experience that our clients get with working with us. What that means to me is that I really want to make sure that clients are getting things in a very speedy way. I don't want them to be waiting around for things from my end or CeleriTech's end. I want them to know that we're quick to communication and we're quick to getting our deliverables in. And that starts with the sales process. So as like technically the ambassador of a company, I'm responsible for getting everything to our clients and our prospects in a very speedy way. So to circle back to your question, I would say I get all of these sales tasks done immediately. I update our customer relationship management tool that we use. We actually use SAP Business One for our CRM. So I'm in it every single day, right? So I'm updating client information. I'm entering any new prospects that I might have met in past sales conventions. Then I see any clients that I should be following up on regarding certain topics. I'm updating that into SAP. And then one important thing that I did learn in sales, which is extremely, extremely vital for this industry, is that you have to prospect every day. And do you want to prospect every day? No. But what I mean by prospecting is that you need to every single day, a little bit, you need to be scouting prospects. So for CeleriTech, our niche, food companies, food manufacturing companies, food distribution companies. I need to be on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I need to be on LinkedIn. I need to be on Google, looking at companies in the area. I need to be calling. I need to be picking up the phone. I need to be calling clients or prospects, cold calling. I need to be sending emails. I need to be sending LinkedIn messaging to honestly a few prospects every single day, so that no quarter gets left, below quota for me. So I need to make sure that I am doing a little bit every single day to make sure that I have a full pipeline of prospects. I never want to be stuck with nothing to do or stuck with no pipeline or no prospects in line. I always want to at least make sure that I have about 10 prospects, 10 sales qualified leads that I'm working with. So for that to happen, I need to be every single day. I need to be trying a little bit more in prospecting, meet new people, following
10,
up.
10,
Yeah.
10 per quarter or 10 per month?
Well, no, I would say at every single given day, I need to have at least 10 sales qualified leads. Yeah. Well,
Daily.
not new to 10. I just need 10 at any given time. So I'm sure like there's days that they continue being the same 10, but as long as
Yeah.
I have 10, that's good. But I also need to be working every day on prospecting to make sure I keep that 10 average.
So it's a kind of a KPI that is like you agreed with your manager or something about it, or it's something that you are doing your own.
Myself. Yeah, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I don't know if you can tell. I put a lot of pressure on myself. That was not even anything that Claudia, made a restriction on me or a KPI.
Hmm.
That was something that I've taught myself just from reading sales books and marketing books and business development books that I need to have in the ERP industry. I need to have at least 10 sales qualified leads. So I hold myself to that, right? Claudia is very trusting. She counts on me. I have a lot of freedom with sales at CeleriTech, which is amazing, which is perfect. But for that to happen, I have a lot of responsibility. I'm on my nights, I'm reading books, studying other people in the ERP sales, right, or large software sales, right? I'm learning what they do, the sales methodologies that they use, so I can bring that into developing my own leads and providing the most value to our prospects. So we don't only want to provide value to our clients that have already bought with us, we provide value to anybody that comes to us, anybody. So any prospect, any people that have not even bought with CeleriTech, everybody deserves the same exact value. So that's what I try to pride myself on.
Perfect, perfect. So there's a lot of people have this confusion between the sales and the pre-sales.
Mhm.
Like if you are a sales consultant, definitely you can do the pre-sales demos. What do you
Yeah.
think about that? Is this real? Is this correct? Or what do you think?
Yeah, so that's a great question, Khaled. So in my experience, what I have learned works for me, and I can't speak for anybody else that's in sales. I have a few other friends that are in ERP sales as well, but in my experience, I myself don't like giving demos of like myself giving demos and
Okay.
leading the entire sales process and doing the business development and the account management on myself. I would say I can take care of the relationship with the client and making sure that they have a good experience in the sales process. But as far as the technical aspect, I think I could do a good job, but I just know one of our consultants, one of our SAP consultants could provide a lot more technical, like
Yeah.
quality demos. So I usually refer to one of our senior consultants who we have at CeleriTech. So usually I'm responsible in sales. I'm not in pre-sales, but I'm responsible for collecting all the client information. I'm responsible for the discovery call, which is learning the in-depth needs that the client has. I'm learning about their in-depth operation. So how many warehouses do they have? Do they do production? Where do they source their materials? Do they do any imports? Do they do exports, right? Do they manage EDI? All those very technical things. I'm learning. I'm taking notes. I'm asking questions for about an hour or so. And then what I'm doing is that I'm collecting all that information and then I'm planning the demo that's going to happen of SAP Business One if the client's interested. And I'm giving all that information and I'm planning the demo with a senior SAP consultant at CeleriTech. And then the SAP consultant gives the demo and with all like exactly tailored to what a company wants to see. Obviously, Cal, working with SAP, that a demo of everything in SAP would take days, probably longer, right? Everything in
Yeah.
SAP would take days. But we really try to tailor it to exactly the pain points that a client has. So if a client has a pain point saying, I have no idea how many raw materials I have that I can use for production. I have no way of tracking my finished products. I have no way of seeing where those finished products are going, in real time. We're going to show them all about the inventory and the materials requirement planning module in SAP, right?
Yeah.
Or if a client's saying, I don't really have, or we don't have great visibility with our profit and loss reports, right? Or our balance sheet. We don't have good visibility with that and tailored in real time with our inventory. We're going to show them financial reporting and accounting in SAP, purchasing, sales, CRM. We really tried to make our demo condense to exactly what the client needs to see or really wants to see, because there's always a reason why a company is a food and beverage company or any other company is looking to a software system. So it's about finding out why. Why are they looking into a new software system? Because if they're happy with their older one, right, they wouldn't be exploring an ERP. So if they're happy with their QuickBooks or if they're happy with their fishbowl system, they wouldn't be exploring SAP Business One. So I'm learning what's making you look into new systems. And then we're going from there. The main thing as a sales rep is asking those questions, not making it about everything I can provide, but it's about asking what they need because
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
the stars. It's not about me. Zero about me. I can bring a smile and I can bring the questions, but it's about them, nothing about me. And it's about solving their problems. And that's what we really try to pride ourselves with That's CeleriTech and me in sales.
Yeah, I just read a book for Matthew Pollard. It's about marketing also. And he mentioned that the successful people who are listening. So people want someone to listen to their issues, not
Oh
to
yeah,
talk more and say, hey, we are in SAP, we have this and that and that. No, listen and
yeah,
learn from them. Then that's what people need from you, to listen
yeah,
to them.
exactly. No,
Yeah,
exactly.
interesting.
I 100% agree. 100%
Yeah.
agree.
So before I move to my next question, because um, I told you I'm curious and I want to know more about the sales. So
Yeah, sure.
you mentioned cold outreach, which is cold emails and cold calls. Is that working those days?
Great question. Wonderful question. And honestly, the hard answer that I don't know if a lot of sales reps would want to hear, but the cold outreach does work, right? It's extremely hard, right? And it's tedious, can be very, I said before, overwhelming. It can be kind of draining, socially draining, but it's required in sales, right? I've seen many things on LinkedIn and in books saying that cold calling is dead, right?
Yeah.
And I'd love to believe that it's true. I'd love to believe that. So I never have to pick up the phone again, because that's, who likes picking up the phone and making cold calls to a bunch of strangers? Nobody does. But
Yeah.
if you're in sales, it's required. Like you need to, because that's a way of prospecting, right? So to give I'll give two quick success stories. Is that I was picking up the phone. I like writing a lot. I feel like I can really reiterate my messages really well in text words. So I was using that to my advantage with kind of an omni-channel approach to sales. I was doing cold calls part of the day. I was doing LinkedIn messaging. I was sending cold emails. I was doing email blasts. I was doing anything under the sun to really expand the name of CeleriTech to as many people as possible. And I was watching this one article on the news about a cookie dough manufacturing company, and I was like, oh, this looks like a growing company. I'm going to reach out to the owner. And so I
Hmm.
reached out to the owner. I was like, hey, how's it going? I just saw about your company on a news article on television, and I wanted to see if you were currently using an ERP system to manage your operation. And I ended up selling to them, and that was one of my biggest clients that I've had at CeleriTech. That yeah, and I literally ended up selling. And if it wasn't for that message, I wouldn't have one of my biggest clients that I have today. So that was at the very beginning of my sales
Yeah.
journey, like the very first few months. And then another example is that trade shows are huge, right? So and I was going to talk about these success stories too later in the podcast. Another success story that I've had in the sales and the cold outreach. And again, nobody likes cold outreach. It's not fun. You have to kind of just not think about it and do it and just be yourself and just talk about the value that you provide. Yeah, are you going to get shut down by some people, or some people are going to be in really, really bad moods and take it out on you? Absolutely. It's going to happen. You just can't
Yeah.
you can't let it get you down. I used to get down from it, but you can't let it get you down. But I was at a trade show. I was at the Natural Products trade show in Philadelphia a few months back, and I went up to a booth. It was a candle and botanical scents company. So they do candles, and they do face washes, and they do everything botanicals, everything cosmetic. And they have a farm which they source all the ingredients and everything. So I went up to them and I was talking about SAP, and the lady was the general manager was extremely kind to me, and we're talking for like 20 minutes. And then that ended up being one of my other largest sales, by just me going up and just like being nice, being friendly, talking at the right time, right, and learning about their business problems. And she was like, okay, let's move forward with SAP. And I was like, okay, that sounds great.
So, yeah,
So
but just to make sure that I understand this,
yeah,
so you went to this trade show and you're like walking to the booth. This vendor was trying to sell their stuff, and
yeah,
you go
exactly.
and you sold your stuff. Man, really?
Yeah, trade shows are tough. Trade shows are tough, but I knew that I needed leads, right? So I know I'm responsible for my own leads. I'm
Yeah.
responsible for keeping as I said before, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I really always want to make sure I have enough leads. So I said, Claudia, would you allow me to go to Philadelphia and pitch to all these companies who are right in our niche, right? There's growing food and beverage companies, or in this case, it was a candle company, or natural products companies. I was like, Claudia, this is our niche. Can I please go? She was like, oh, you're going to go and you're going to pitch to a bunch of these companies? I was like, yeah. Like I'm young, I got the energy, I might as well. So they were selling their products, hoping to find buyers like from Target and Costco and Walmart and TJ Maxx, like all these big names that you would see, like these buyers. And I then would be going to these booths trying to sell SAP. And most people thought I was crazy for doing it. But in sales, you really gotta put yourself out there. You gotta be proud of what you're selling. I'm extremely proud of what we sell at CeleriTech. I know that we can provide a lot of value to companies and really provide solution for them to manage their back office and for back office operation, their inventory operation. I'm really passionate what we have to offer, and clients can see that when I'm coming to talk. Yeah, do they know I'm in sales? Yeah, but it's about my positivity and it's about my passion and confidence in what we can provide our services that make them listen. And that's all I'm asking for. I just need them to listen. And what they do with that information is on them. They don't need it. If they do need it, it's on them. But my job at CeleriTech is to really extend what our value is to the community. So it is tough. It can be draining at some points, but it's required in sales. It's one of the hardest parts of sales, but you got to do it. You got to do it.
So,
and there's a lot of reward that comes out of it. There's a lot of reward. It can be hard, but there's a lot of reward that can come out of it as well.
yeah. So I believe that CeleriTech are so lucky having you, man. Really, honestly.
Oh, thanks.
So you have this energy. You are doing all that stuff, and I believe that a lot of sales guys now should learn from this experience, because, as you mentioned, and all of us thought that the cold calling or the cold outreach is dead. No, the customer behavior is different now. Nobody will be happy that you are reaching out to them over the phone. But guess what? You close a deal over the phone. And also in the trade shows, to reach out to people that are going to this trade show trying to sell their stuff, and you go, they name it the suitcase guy. You know that you are going and trying to sell your stuff, and they are angry. Hey, I don't want to talk to you now. I'm trying to sell
I've
my
gotten
stuff.
that many times. Oh yeah, I have gotten and honestly, it's for the best because you wouldn't want to necessarily work with somebody that treats you poorly anyway. But I have gotten heat before.
Oh,
I have been on the bad end of a lot. Like if I went up to go, there has been one instance at a trade show, which I'm assuming that they understood what I was a sales guy going around to different booths. And I've gotten called names, and I've gotten, like, hey, we're not interested. Stay away from our booth. I'm like, all right, sounds good. I mean,
yeah,
it sounds like that's all right. Like,
yeah.
So I'm just here trying to provide some value.
Yeah, but it's important also that everyone, like, working on the sales, don't take it personal.
No, you
So
can't. You can't.
yeah,
But it's hard not to. So I understand at the very beginning of my career, I took it very personally. I took everything personally. And this was about like 6 months to a year into it. And I remember it was so hard closing my first deal, right? So this was probably the first 6 months of it. It was so hard to close my first deal, and I didn't think it was ever going to happen, right? I had great prospects, and they kept on, they kept on just not even moving forward. They were like, "Oh, this is too big of an investment for us right now. We're a little afraid, everything." And I just was not closing anything. And I remember reaching out to Claudia, and I was like, "Is this normal that I still haven't closed a deal yet?" I mean, keep in mind, I was 22, like 22 years old, and I was really beating myself up. I was so mad that I was not closing a deal, and yet, at least. But it was like, 4 months into it, something, and I was new to the industry itself. And Claudia was like, "Tyler, it is normal. Stop beating yourself up. It'll come. Trust the process." There's just been certain things that she's like my mentor, right, in the industry. She is a major mentor. Mr. Markley was my mentor in college. Easily Claudia is my mentor in my career thus far. One of the biggest things that she has ever said to me is, "Tyler, trust the process," right? It's not going to come overnight. Rome wasn't built in a day. Trust the process, Tyler. And being 22 and impatient as I was, I was like, okay, trust the process, like whatever. But I would tell that to anybody now. You need to trust
Yeah.
the process. You need to, it's a steep educational curve, technology industry itself, let alone ERP, let alone the challenges of an industry that you're studying, let alone how to deal with a client, right? So much you have to learn, right? And Claudia was like, Tyler, we count on you. Trust the process, right? So I did. And soon enough, I was closing deals. I was staying more patient. I was really trusting God through the entire process. And it came, it came to me. So I would tell
Trust in the
everybody,
process.
you have to,
Yeah.
yeah. So
For
Claudia's very
all,
wise. She said
yeah,
many things before that. Now stick with me every day.
yeah. Be patient, trust in the process, and you will close something. So
Yeah.
I know it's not easy, but I believe you. I know that it takes time, and
Thank you.
you should do that. And also, I believe that uh, all the efforts that you are doing, all the pitching that you are doing, at the end of the day, you are trying many channels, and one of
Sure.
them, 100%, will you will get its fruit or something. So I
Mhm.
believe that it's a good strategy, and for all sales reps, like they should be patient and they
Yeah.
should trust the process. So CeleriTech, you are
Yeah.
mentioning CeleriTech, your mentor.
Yeah.
You trust in this company. So you mentioned 3 years now with CeleriTech. Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why? Great question. So CeleriTech, it's been a job of my dreams, right? And the reason why it's a job of my dreams, because I really, really believe in our methodology. It's going to sound pretty cheesy. I really, really believe in our methodology. I really believe in our clients, right? I believe in how much value I've seen firsthand, how happy clients are after we sold and implemented for them. I've seen like that sparkle in their eye when they're like, wow, now we have a full system that we can manage everything in one platform. Now we finally have efficiency. Now we don't have as much human error. Now we can see the return on investment that we're getting, from our SAP system. And I've seen that. And that, if anything, that's like a very like addicting feeling to make me want to sell more, to make more people happy. And that's exactly what CeleriTech, that's like our mission, right? We really want to make a change. We really want to help complex supply chain issues that companies are facing, small to medium sized growing companies are facing, because that's like the foundation of America, small to medium sized growing companies. And they're the ones that are facing the most challenges, right? The growing pains of they're either getting a new purchase order and they're worried about how they're going to be able to make it happen, right? They are scaling, they're hiring more employees, that they're worried that their processes aren't as efficient, right? There's a lot, like I said before, a lot of human error that they've been seeing, and they're worried and they're frantic and they don't really necessarily want to begin a new software system because it's probably going to be so complex, it's going to be expensive, it's going to be so long. And CeleriTech is pretty much that part. CeleriTech is that partner that really makes it easy on them to implement it, for the implementation of a new system. We really dig deep into their business, their complex business issues. We tell them it's okay, we got this, count on us, rely on us. We're going to give you the best experience, and we're also going to provide you with the exact tailored system that you need. So I've seen this. I've seen the way that we treat our clients. I've seen the way that internally we treat our employees. And after seeing this for 3 years, I tell everybody at the company, I have no interest in ever at this point ever leaving, just because it's everything I've ever wanted for a company, right? Everybody's treated with the uttermost respect, right? Everybody's very communicative in the company. We have a very organized operation internally. There has never been, anything that I had any doubts with in the sales process or in how we organize our information. Everything is very clear. It's like it's crazy because it's really like the ideal company that I needed, right? It starts internally. It starts at a company. If all the employees are really treated well with respect and with love and with patience, that really reflects in all the different departments to our clients. So it starts inside, and then that reflects to our clients and how we treat our clients. So when I saw that at CeleriTech, there's no going anywhere else. I am very happy. I have a lot of freedom with CeleriTech. There's a lot of responsibility that I have at CeleriTech for sure, but that is, I would say, that's the best reason, because I see the value that we have provided to our clients. I see it firsthand, and I love it when a project is finished, it's go live, and I get to speak with the client after, either if I sold to or not. I speak to the client. I said, how is SAP Business One helping your operation? And they tell me, oh, we just increased the past 3 months. Our sales have exploded in like great, like it's really expanded. Now we're able to keep on top of it. Now we know where all of our ingredients in every single batch. We know which ingredients went into which batch and which batch went where, to which department store, to which wholesale client. And they talk about so highly about their new SAP system. And I'm like, man, I'm in the right career path here, because every single client is like beaming. So with their new SAP system. So I'm like, wow, maybe this is a job that I want to keep.
Yeah.
So I'm working hard to keep the job.
Good for you. Good for you. You make me feeling like I should
be in sales.
Yeah, I should work for CeleriTech. It's a good company. So if anyone want to like have an opportunity for this internship or to work for the company, is there like in the website they can go to the website and fill something, or what is the process for people who are
looking for new sales roles or internships? Yeah, absolutely.
I believe anything in any job opportunity. This is a good company. If anyone want to work for the company, is there? It's on the website.
Yeah. Well, in CeleriTech's instance, I would say if you're looking for a job at CeleriTech, look on our LinkedIn. We're always our HR department and the other coworkers that I have. We're always posting new opportunities that CeleriTech is hiring, because we're really growing quickly as well. There's always new jobs that are available, new internships that are available. I would say reach out to me, reach out to Claudia, and there's usually a lot of open opportunities available. But if you're looking for any ERP sales role or marketing role or just any role in general, I would say reach out directly to that company instead of going online and filling out the application, which is great. Do that as well. But reach out to the business owner, reach out to the CEO, reach out to the managers. Be like, hey, I'm very interested in your company. I read your mission statement. I read your vision statement. I really like what you have to offer. I wanted to see if you have any open opportunities. Put yourself out there. Now, I sound like a major sales rep saying that, because sometimes people wouldn't want to, like, really, wouldn't feel comfortable doing that. Maybe that's just something I would do, but that's a recommendation that I would have. Just put yourself out there, introduce yourself to somebody at that company, whether it be via LinkedIn or email, or even pick up the phone and call. But there's a lot of opportunities out there, but it's about putting yourself out there as well. So,
perfect. So
if that answers that question.
yeah, perfect. So moving to the food industry, you mentioned that you guys are focusing on the food industry. So in your opinion, what is the unique challenges do the food companies like face, and SAP can solve this?
Great question. That's a great question. So a lot of the issues that I have noticed that food companies are facing, right? They're facing a lot of manual data entry. They're facing a lot of inefficiencies with their inventory processes and their accounting and financial processes as well. And they're also facing like compliance issues with their inventory operations, which I've noticed, right? So the FDA puts a lot of regulations on the food industry, right? They need to be able to be recall ready. They need to be able to, like I said before, be able to track which ingredients go into which batch and which batch go where. And that is where SAP Business One and Easy Starter come into play, especially which I have noticed. There's also a big issue with human errors, right? So if you're using multiple different software systems, if you're doing a lot of double data entry, there's a lot of human errors that can, come into that process. And human errors can really put a lot of damage on a company's day-to-day operation. So when all users of the company are working in one single SAP Business One database, everything's in real time, everything's updated. You can see all transactions in real time. So you can stay on top of it, and you can be fully audit and recall ready as well.
Yeah. So you mentioned that the food industry is sensitive because of it's a food stuff. It may be expired, or you will sell something that is, yeah.
So to dive deeper into that as well is that what we provide with CeleriTech and what we provide with our Easy Starter methodology, right? Is and the reason that we really tailor our services to this industry is because we've seen that a lot of food, in my opinion, we've seen a lot of food companies that are doing a lot in their day to day, and they're doing it all manually. They're counting all their inventory on pen and paper, right? They're reporting all of that to their managers, right, and to the people that are working inside the warehouse and in the production team. They need to be tracking to make sure that they're staying at their minimum levels of all of their raw ingredients. They need to make sure that they have enough inventory. They're at finished inventory levels as well. They're managing multiple different online selling platforms. So they might be selling on Shopify. They might be selling on Walmart online. They might be selling on Amazon. There's multiple different orders coming in, and they need to be able to stay on top of all their finished inventory, right? Or if they get a purchase order, they need to be able to make sure that they have enough inventory on hand to be able to fulfill that purchase order. So for instance, with SAP Business One and its MRP module, it's like a big blender, as we like to call it, right? So the MRP, you could run like a mock MRP, right? So you could be able to see how many ingredients do I need to send a purchase order to our default vendor for? How many, child items do I need to have to be able to form the parent item, to be able to have that finished inventory, to be able to do the production run of our products, to make sure that we have enough in store to be able to fulfill that purchase order, right? And another thing that I've noticed is that companies need a system. This is one of the main things that I've noticed. EDI, electronic data interchange, is huge in the food industry because a lot of the big players in the game, like such as Target, Walmart, Costco, they send their purchase orders via EDI.
Yeah.
And a lot of these smaller companies, they don't have a software system that really can retrieve these EDI orders, right? And a lot of these big retailers, these big national retailers, they charge big bucks, as large as like $20,000 fines if you make a mistake on the EDI order.
Okay.
So, for example, if you accidentally send the wrong amount of inventory to, let's say, the wrong location that the purchase order was made for, places will charge you a lot of money. So you need a system, and SAP Business One is fully EDI compliant. At CeleriTech, we did the full EDI integration between both parties. With SAP Business One, you can turn that purchase order into your operation. So you make sure that that is turning into a production run in the company, and you're really posting that delivery, that exact delivery to that end client or to that wholesale client or that trading partner. So it's really important to have a system that would be able to scale with you. And it's really important to have a system that it's an organized system that you can track everything instead of allowing any room for human error. So that is one thing that I've noticed with the food industry. Production is very tedious. It's a very tedious task. I was describing this morning to a colleague that I've noticed that landed costs in the food and beverage industry is very huge because every company needs to know how much this, let's say if it's a soda manufacturer, a pop manufacturer, that you need to know all of the different steps that it took for this end product to get into our warehouse, right? So from the second that you're procuring the raw ingredients, if you're doing production, to labor costs, to the logistics that it costs for all the materials to come in for you to finish this product, you need to know how much that product costs and how much margin you can make off every single product. You need to have that. You need to have those margins. You need to have that financial, report of that product, readily available. So you're able to make sure that you're profiting off your operation. It's very tedious in the food and beverage industry, and it can take days, to compile those reports and really make sure that you are profiting in your company. Profit and loss is huge. Your balance sheet is huge in the just like any other company, but especially in the food and beverage industry. And again, staying on top of compliances and regulations from the U.S. government is huge. So you really need a system that is able to be recall ready. In the unfortunate case of a recall, you need to really make sure that you have a system that can back you up, that provides the lot numbers, that provides you that clarity into every single product and which ingredients went into which product. It's so important.
Yeah. So can you share with us, if it is okay with you, a
Yep.
successful story where you were involved from the very beginning and now they are live and happy using SAP
Yeah.
Business One?
Yeah, I'd love to. So, for example, and this is to give a little bit more depth into our Easy Starter methodology. The Easy Starter methodology at CeleriTech is what we really pride ourselves with. It's our project management methodology. It's to really ensure there's a smooth project plan behind every single sale that we make. So, initially in the Easy Starter methodology, for 20 years, we really took the best out of all the different methodologies that we've used, and we took the best and the most efficient, and now we put them into this easy starter, which is basically number one, to strategize all of the company's information, right? So usually when a company is interested in moving forward with SAP or moving forward with any software system, a lot of their information is scattered in multiple different locations. They might have data in QuickBooks, and then they might have data in multiple different other disparate software systems or on paper. So the first step, strategize their information. I'm banging my hands on the table, so it might make an impact on the
No,
podcast
that's fine.
sound levels. I just talk with my hands. We need to strategize their business information, all their business data, right? And then we put that, leave it to us. We put that, we upload that into the system, into their new SAP Business One system. And then we have a huge emphasis on support and training. Very, very large emphasis on that, with multiple different workshops that we work with one-on-one with the client to really make sure that they know the ins and the outs of their operation with their system, so that they're not left at the go live like, what is this? And this is completely different than anything else we are used to. We want to make sure that that is not even, on the drawing board. We want to make sure that they're very extremely equipped with the system before they go live with it. It's mandatory. And that's what Easy Starter really prides itself off of. And that's where we've really made a lot of our sales with the food and beverage industry, because we really outline that Easy Starter methodology. Now, to actually answer your question, some of the clients that we pride ourselves with that stand out is, and I mentioned it already in the past, but we sold to we as a team sold to a cookie dough manufacturing company that has over 400 franchises all across the USA. We sold our Easy Starter kit with production modules in it, with the warehouse management, with our Easy B2B portal, which is the wholesale portal, and also with Easy Digital T, which our Easy Digital T allows for SAP. It's our connector that connects with all their online selling platforms as well. So if they sell online, if they sell wholesale, and they distribute all their cookie dough to, like I said, over 400 different franchises. That was it was very awesome to sell to them, because we have even seen the fruits that they have now with their SAP Business One system. And I'm extremely excited for them to expand more with that as well. And then the next one that I also pride myself with is the candle and botanical company that I was mentioning that I met at that products expo. They had another boom of sales in the past 3 months. They just went live about 3 or 4 months ago, and they had a boom of sales in the past 3 months. And I got this wonderful message from the general manager saying how happy they are with SAP, how they're fine. Like, they really feel like now that they're really like on the top, organized with all their data, their financial data, their procurement data, right, and their production as well that they do on site. And then another success story that we have is with a very large fresh food distributor that finally has. They were using a competitor ERP for about 10 to 15 years before they even we spoke to them, and they were having such issues with just their profit and loss with all their trading that they were doing, right? All their trading around the USA that they were doing. And they reached out to us because they needed that to be in their SAP system and in their SAP Business One system, because they heard that SAP Business One is very robust. It's very robust with the financials. And now that they can see their exact profit and loss for every single trade that they do inside the United States. So, like I said before, I love speaking with these clients 1 month, 6 months, a year, 2 years after their go live, because I can really see the impact that SAP Business One has made on their day-to-day life with all them and their employees. And I love speaking to business owners. I love, hearing just them give amazing compliments about our services and SAP.
Perfect. So you mentioned this company have 400 branches.
Franchisees,
Yeah, this is like a very huge. So that's like makes me ask you a different question about the size. So if I'm hearing this podcast and I heard that you're selling for a 400 franchise or branch, I will
You would think,
think,
yeah.
yeah, it's SAP is not for us. SAP is not for a small company. But when you size the company, when you say that this company, SAP will be good for them, do you have your equation? Do you have your, how you say this company can have SAP, this company?
Yeah, exactly. No, that's a great question. To touch base on the 400 franchisees that they've sold to and that they distribute their products to, is because they've expanded to that also since using SAP, right? So they did not start off with all those franchisees, but SAP Business One is very scalable and it can scale up with your company as you continue to grow. They did not have over 400 franchisees when we did sell to them. They had much less. But great question. I would say SAP Business One is made for small to medium-sized growing companies. So we sell to companies that usually have about 5 million in sales to about 50 million in sales total annual revenue. Around that, like that little sweet spot there, that they basically just need a system to scale with them. And I think that client that I was just discussing that had over 400 franchisees, SAP Business One is a great system that will scale with you. It's not a system that you're going to have to get a new system in 2 to 3 years. It's not going to get bogged down with too much data that's going to really slow down your operation, right? It's going to be with you for decades to come. It's going to be with you for a long time. A lot of our clients have been with us for many, many, many years, and they plan to keep their SAP Business One system for many, many years. It does not get old. It does not lose its functionality. It does not slow down. And CeleriTech is responsible too for making sure that we provide the updates. We provide additional services and additional add-ons to make their lives easier as well with their SAP Business One system as technology grows in years to come. And that's what CeleriTech is for. We want to be like an IT partner, right? We want to be part of your strategy, right? And it's our job to make sure that your SAP Business One system is staying on top of your operation. That's our job.
Perfect. And it's scalable, as you mentioned. So even if you are small and you are getting bigger, the software can be scaled with you. So for people who don't have ERP, or they are using QuickBooks, or they are using spreadsheets, and you know that a lot of people are afraid of change. They don't want to change. How do you convince those people?
Well, you're coming out with all the great questions, Cal. These are really great questions. So how do I convince them in the sales aspect? It's really important to make sure that they feel comfortable with the change. And as I was saying before, is that in sales, as a sales rep, I'm basically the emotional manager. I don't want to push the ERP on them. It's my job to be able to outline the exact process that it will be throughout the entire implementation, what they will be receiving, the value that they will be receiving with the system, and making sure that they feel comfortable with moving forward, right? But one thing that I've read in a book before, in the past, a sales book, is that a lot of people resist change just because they feel in the dark about what the future entails, right?
Okay.
So they're afraid of the future. They're afraid of what could happen because it's not outlined in front of them. So it's my job in sales, or it's anybody's job in ERP sales, to really make sure that the client is comfortable with the decision, that they know what they're going to be getting out of a system, that they know the value that the SAP Business One partner like CeleriTech will be providing them. They know what the project will look like. They know the benefits that they'll have with the system. They know that their certain problems will be solved with an ERP system. And that's on the sales rep to reiterate that information to the business owners, and honestly, especially the employees. So, for example, a lot of employees really resist the change to an ERP system. Okay. And for example, one of the sales or the prospects that I was working with in the past, a lot of the employees were like, "We're going to be the ones using the system. We really want to know what the system entails." So I was meeting with every single one of those employees. So people from production to HR to sales to inventory in the warehouse. And I was having one-on-one meetings with them to really go over what the value is of SAP Business One and how it will make their job easier. So it's on the sales rep to really introduce an ERP in an approachable way, because a lot of the times employees, they feel like they're not involved in the sales process. They feel like, oh, our owner is making a decision without even running this decision by us. We're going to pull away. We don't want this. We're going to
Right.
pull away. We know our job. They know the ins and outs, and they're the ones that are going to be using that system every single day. They're in operational roles. They're going to be using SAP Business One or the ERP every single day. So it's important that you involve them in the sales process so that they feel and they know that they're part of the decision being made, right? There's
Perfect.
been many examples before that, like I was saying before, that employees, they pull away from ERP. They pull away from change. They're like, wow, I know the ins and outs of our operational roles. I don't want to switch, right? I don't want to switch. It's seriously, and it's understandable. Like they have their exact certain day-to-day lineups. They know exactly the ins and outs of their day-to-day, and they don't want a whole new system to get taught on, to get trained, and then they're just very worried about it. And it's on the sales rep. It's on the sales rep, literally the sales rep, to really introduce it in a comfortable way so that they feel safe with the new system. They feel like, this is not too bad. Oh, and this system's actually going to save us a lot of time, and it's going to make my job easier. That's on the sales rep. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what, what we have to do, in ERP sales, because it is a big change. Like you were saying, it's a very, very, very big change. And it's on the sales rep too, to not push ERP on a prospect. So if someone's interested, it takes time. It takes time to meet with the business owners over and over. It takes time to meet with the employees. It takes time to do the demos. It takes time to provide all the deliverables in the sales process. It's really important to follow the prospect's lead, to take your time, to not push, and to really let the client buy from you instead of you selling, if that makes
Mm,
sense. It's on
yeah.
the client to buy. The sales rep, they're especially at CeleriTech, we really want to, it's a sales rep's job to really make the sales experience great for them, beneficial to them. They know what they're going to be getting, to make it smooth, to make it comfortable. It's not my position to like sell, it's not my position to like really pitch and really try
Yeah.
to get them that, it's my job to really know what they'll be receiving in a system, but it's also on me to listen to their needs and really make sure that the sales process is smooth for them.
It's so smart from you to do all this huge effort in my opinion, because like convincing the owners, then the employees, it's not easy, especially as you mentioned, if for them it's a dark side, they don't know what is there, they don't know
Exactly.
what will happen.
It's
um
scary. Yeah, it's
yeah,
scary.
so good. I believe it's very smart from you to do that, and it's a very, very good job that you are doing, to make it easy for the implementation team. If
Yeah,
you're not doing that, then the implementation team will come and they will find all
exactly.
yeah. So I believe that they are lucky that you are working with them in the same team.
Thanks, Kelly.
So
Well, they're
yeah,
extremely important. They're the ones that are going to be implementing the system, and they're the ones that are going to be using the system. So they need to be part of the sales process. And I am more than happy to speak with them and to really make the decision easy on them, so that they know that it's their decision as well. Like
yeah,
their
yeah,
opinion in their opinion matters.
yeah,
It
sure,
matters largely. So,
sure, sure. Perfect. So Sigma Snacks.
yeah.
Let's move to Sigma Snacks. So what is the story behind Sigma Snacks?
Thanks for asking. I love talking about Sigma Snacks. So Sigma Snacks is the side company that I am the CEO of, the founder of. It is a CPG, a consumer packaged goods company that I got the idea of when I was a college athlete at Saint Vincent College. I was a collegiate swimmer. One of the reasons why I went to Saint Vincent College to begin with, but I was on the way to a 6 a.m. workout very early in the middle of winter. I was cold. I was tired. I was hungry. And I remember walking to the pool before my 2-hour swim workout. And I remember thinking, man, I need something light to put in my stomach and also give me a boost of caffeine, because I'm exhausted right now. I'm hungry right now. I also don't want to drink a cup of coffee because I don't want to be sick, before, like during my swim workout. And I also don't want to eat anything too heavy that I would also be sick and I would be feeling well during my swim workout. And I didn't want to drink any pre-workouts or any energy drinks. I just needed the right solution. I needed like small light snack that'll give me a little boost of caffeine, right? And not
Okay.
too much caffeine, just the right amount. So I was looking on the market for something like this for a while, and it just wasn't there. There was nothing there that that was really supporting what I was looking for, right? So I was like, what if I developed a product? What if I developed a solution for this issue? I needed just something light to put in my stomach while I was on the go that would also give me a boost of caffeine. And I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it. So thus the idea of Sigma Snacks was born. We came a long way from it, and also it really helped me to learn the ins and outs of the entrepreneurial journey of being a CEO of in the food industry. So I was learning R&D, I was learning raw materials, I was learning what lot numbers are, what batch numbers are, right? I was learning everything regarding the food industry from both of my jobs. So from CeleriTech and Sigma Snacks. So it's been a lot of work. It's been great work. I've enjoyed every single day that I've had the blessing and the honor of doing both of these jobs, which is really cool and has really helped me with also being able to sell to companies, to sell to CPG companies, to any food companies, because I also see firsthand the pains that they go through, right? I see how
Yeah.
tedious it is, the work it is. So it really helps me to be able to empathize with other business owners in the food industry.
Where can I find the Sigma Snacks here in
Great question.
Michigan?
You're gonna be able to find them really soon because we partnered with Culinary Development Group, which is an R&D and manufacturing sourcing partner, which designed for us a brand new recipe. It's all natural, gluten-free, vegan. It tastes great. It has an all natural caffeine from green tea extract, which I'm really excited about. And we're moving forward with manufacturing right now and packaging, which I'm really looking forward to. And we should be in full sales operation. We should be in full sales mode by mid to end of September right now. So you'll be seeing
Okay.
online. Yeah. So it's gonna be a crazy ride, but I'm really excited for it as well. I love selling. As you can tell, I love selling.
I I,
So
I will wait for my back. I will wait for
yeah,
it.
absolutely. Right? We'll be selling them on Shopify. We'll be selling them in we're going to be trying to break into colleges where people are really going to be needing these snacks. Like any parents would see value in these snacks if they're on the go. They just need something quick that also give them a boost of caffeine. Truck drivers, nurses, doctors, athletes, students in colleges, like I was saying before. I really think that this product could really move the market, right? So it's basically it's a solution. Instead of having to have food in one hand and coffee in the other hand, it's a cookie that really is a great solution for people on the go, and it's also healthy. You don't have to go
Yeah.
as well. So yeah, I'm really excited. We'll see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Yeah. I will be waiting for it, and really, I like your energy. I like that you're working hard. You're trying to do so. Even if you find something that that is not available on the market, you are producing it, man. So good for you. And
It's something.
so that makes me ask you another question related to Sigma Snacks. So all these efforts that you are putting on Sigma Snacks, all those efforts that you are putting on CeleriTech, how can you handle both stuff?
Yeah, that's a tremendous question. So it takes a lot of time management and discipline because I don't really I'm not really a big fan of kind of doing like combining both into my like the exact time, like basically from 9 to 12 I'm doing CeleriTech, and then from 1 to 5 or 6 I'm doing CeleriTech, right? So I don't like doing both at the same time. I like doing Sigma Snacks work before my CeleriTech job and during lunch breaks and then after working hours. So
Okay.
I like focusing. I know my limitations, so I like focusing my time in something directly. So I know that if I want to focus on Sigma Snacks, I'm going to have to do it around CeleriTech working hours, which is fine. Does it mean that the days are longer of work? Yeah, absolutely. But I have a lot of passion with what I do as well. So it doesn't really. I'm going to sound cliche. It doesn't really feel like work. I really feel like I'm moving towards my goals. So
Okay.
it takes a lot of time management, and again, a lot of discipline to really make sure I'm on a right schedule with balancing both jobs and really moving forward with both jobs, both sales with CeleriTech, and then also the production and being a CEO, and going to be now moving into sales with Sigma Stacks. It's gonna be tough, but I think at this point, I'm really ready for the job. I really know I can do both.
Yeah. Anyone else working with you on Sigma Snacks?
Yeah. So I have some of the original, some of the people that were in college with me that are still helping me with certain points of Sigma Snacks as well. So such as like graphic design and some
Yeah.
marketing materials as well. And then I know that I'm getting married in August, and I know that Sigma Snacks is like me and my fiance's like baby right now. So we know that the second that honestly within a month of us getting married, we're going to be at fairs, we're going to be selling, we're going to be organizing inventory, we're going
She's
to be
working with you?
she's a great partner. Oh yeah, she works with me a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect.
She's tremendous. She's fabulous. She's perfect. She's like the perfect co-owner. So
Yeah.
and she helps ground me too. So if I get overwhelmed with anything Sigma Stacks, she's always the one that's like, Tyler, it's gonna be all right. We got this. We can do it together. We're a great team. Yeah, she's fabulous.
Yeah. Great to hear that. And like, I want to thank every woman that is trying to be a good partner and be in your back and
Oh
supporting
yeah,
you. It's really without my wife, I can do
yeah,
what I'm trying to do now.
sure.
So I want to thank every woman that is
Yeah,
doing this
same here.
support. Yeah. Yeah, because
They
if you
make it
think
possible.
yeah, if you think about it, they make it possible. Yeah,
Mhm,
exactly. You can do all of that stuff if she's not supporting you, she's
mhm.
not like motivating you. Sometimes you have a bad mood or you're out of your energy, and you find someone that motivates you and tell you no, you can do that. So a big thanks for every woman doing that.
Couldn't agree more, Khaled. Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it was very interesting meeting you, Tyler, and thank
Likewise,
you
likewise.
so much for your time.
Thank you for allowing me to be on the show. I had a great time. I had the time of my life today.
I really learned a lot from you. It was very interesting. We talk about many topics that I really wanted to learn more. I believe that we will need another episode because there is some stuff related to the lead generation and to the because we talk about the SAP, we talk about the sales. There's a lot of people that have this confusion also about the sales qualified leads and the marketing qualified leads. Anyway, I will believe that maybe after Sigma Snacks go live, you will use SAP for Sigma Snacks.
I'd love to. I would love to.
Yeah, once you are doing 5 million or 10
Yeah,
million
exactly,
sales a week,
exactly. Yeah.
yeah, you'll have.
That's the goal, honestly. That's the goal
Yeah,
in the trajectory. Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope you will do a great job with Sigma Snacks, and congratulations for your wedding.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
You're
It will,
awesome. Loved meeting you.
yeah.
You're
Thank you so
fantastic.
much. Thank you so much, and I really hope for you a good luck in your life, in your CeleriTech position, in your wedding.
That means a lot, Cal. Thank you very much.
And for everyone who listened to the end, thank you so much. At ERP Talks, our mission is to bring in guests who have real journeys in the ERP field or business. Whether you are just starting out, still in college and figuring things out, or you have been in the industry for years, there is always something to learn from each other's experiences. If you found value in today's episode, help us spread the word by sharing it with at least one person who would love this content. And don't forget to follow us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. We will be back soon with another guest who's ready to share their insights and help us all learn something new. Thank you, guys.